all tonight? Did you all have dinner? No? Oh no, I had that. I had dinner, so it's good. So I have energy to talk, but hopefully you can endure my quick talk. And did you all have dinner too? No? Okay, no. Sure. Okay, sure. So it's my distinct pleasure to stand here with you and share with you some of my thoughts about leadership. And for me, leadership includes both the act itself of leading and the ability to lead others. But there's no formula for this skill set, since leadership depends significantly upon personal values and character, and also on social and political circumstances. I too have my own ideas about leadership, and I want to share them with you tonight. First, by sketching the story of my life, and then from its highlights, drawing out the essential meaning of leadership. So here we go. So who would have thought in 22 years ago, when I just arrived in the United States, that I possibly could end up in Seattle as an art professor at Seattle University and have the opportunity to talk to you at this moment. Okay, go back in history. None of my relatives in Vietnam 33 years ago would have thought that I would end up in America and live a rich and fulfilling life as a Jesuit artist. When my aunt came to visit my family when I was 5 years old, she looked at me with eyes of pity and said to my mother, "I'm so sorry for you that your son has no future." She was right at that time, for my dad was serving his prison term along with his military friends in the re-education camp set up by the communists after the Vietnam War. My aunt was right at that time that I would have no future because my double, quote-unquote, dark background for being a Catholic and a son of the old regime would not allow me to have access to a college education. There's no way that a little boy with that hazardous background could make a life with those unfortunate circumstances. My aunt was pitying my mother because she saw her as a woman who had to work alone, making a living, and at the same time raising me. Who would have thought that through the act of retribution, the U.S. government would sponsor all of political prisoners who spent time in the re-education camp and their family members to come to America? Who would have thought that the door to America would be legally wide open for our family? For others Vietnamese families to have this golden opportunity, they had to escape secretly by boat. This means of escape was very dangerous. Half of them died at the sea, and others experienced rape and robbery by pirates on the way. A little boy in shorts running around covered with dirt was perceived as having no future under communism. A denial of my religious belief and of my political ancestry background now had a chance to thrive in a new world. Those two characteristics find an optimal environment in which to grow. I came to the United States when I was 15 years old. I started out as a high school student, like each of you here, and went to UCLA to get my undergrad degree in chemical engineering. During that time, I felt a call to a religious vocation, and so I followed my hunch and my passion. Right after obtaining a bachelor degree from UCLA, I joined the Jesuits. Who would have thought that a chemical engineer could become a Jesuit and an artist? I was able to switch fields because luckily I was sent by my superior to Chicago to study philosophy as part of my Jesuit formation. While I was there in Chicago, I received a scholarship to attend the Art Institute of Chicago, which was the #1 art school in the nation at the time. Taking classes at the Art Institute of Chicago allowed me to get enough undergraduate credits in art to apply to graduate school. Getting accepted to an MFA program was also amazing. You see, when I applied to MFA, a Master of Fine Arts, I did not have BFA. Instead, I have BF, Bachelor in Science. Which BFA is a major prerequisite for acceptance at many schools. I only had enough art credit and had to compete with other art students. I applied to 11 schools. 10 schools denied my application, which is understandable because I don't have BFA. And lo and behold, a miracle happened. The last school to respond and the only school to accept me was Pratt Institute in New York. And for some reason, the professor there looked at my art portfolio and they believed in my artistic potential. I head out to New York and embarked on a new course, my new course at Pratt Institute. 2 years later, my pivotal MFA degree from Pratt Institute turned my life into an amazing career. Who would have thought that I could land in a teaching job right after I earned the MFA degree from college? I was hired as a lecturer at Santa Clara University to teach drawing and painting, which is my concentration of MFA. And who would have thought that a painter could get a commission to do a sculpture? A daring vision of the university president led to my being commissioned by the university to make a bronze sculpture of Saint Clair, the patroness of the university, the city, and the county. Who would have thought that this important sculpture could lead to my next job? I was hired by the University of Sierra University as an art professor in the field of sculpture. The art department here needs someone who can expand their department in the area of sculpture. So I'm here to develop the classes on 3D design and sculpture. So a chemical engineer and a painter now become a sculptor as well. One more story. The hiring process of coming here is also another thrilling story. In the past 4 years, I have spent my life studying theology in preparation to being ordained as a priest. I had neither time to do a lot of art nor to exhibit my work. The chair of the fine arts department looked at my resume and suggested that they would hire me for a part-time job. First, to focus, so 2 reasons. First, to let me to focus on my artwork, and secondly, to develop an exhibition record so that I could slowly get back to the field. It makes a lot of sense. It seems a feasible idea, but at the time of the offering, the dean of the College of Art and Science called me and said he would offer me a full-time tenure-track position. He said that he believed in my artistic ability, plus that I would do it well. And I was overjoyed at that wonderful news. Okay, conclusion, almost there. Why am I telling you all these details of my narratives? It's not about showing off what I have accomplished, but on the contrary, Through my story, I want you to look at people in the leadership position who have helped you along your path in life. In my case, it is precisely because of them that my life has changed completely. If the US government did not sponsor us, who knows where I would have ended up? Would I even have opportunity to go to college? If superiors did not send me to Chicago, I would not have had the chance to study at the Art Institute of Chicago to fulfill the art requirements and prepare me for the shift to studying a new field. If the professors at the Pratt Institute did not believe in my art portfolio, I could not get the best art education in New York. If I were not trusted by the president of Santa Clara University, I would not have had the opportunity to do a historic sculpture in my life. And I could not stand here to speak with you if the dean of the Seattle University did not believe that I could handle the job well. You see, these important turns of my life spring from the vision of leadership. A leader, for me, is not only about taking charge or leading others to a certain goal or direction, but a person who opens up possibilities that makes the impossible possible for others. Leadership then is about having a vision, making connections, and being courageous enough to walk along the daring path. A leader means being the light of the world, even the world around you turns into darkness. My all-time favorite leader is Jesus, because I'm a Jesuit priest, so I have a little bias. And he's my favorite because he's a perfect leader because I can relate my story to his. Remember the story of Jesus walking on the water, called out Peter out of the boat and walking with him? Remember that story in the gospel? Okay, that's how I relate to Jesus here. So for Jesus, walking on the water is doable, but for Peter is unimaginable. But Jesus believed that Peter can do it if Peter trusts in Jesus. Jesus makes the impossible possible. And from that vision, Peter was able to do the unimaginable. Only when Peter started to doubt himself, then he did sink. The worst thing you can do to yourself is to look down on yourself, lie to yourself, or not to be honest with yourself, and not to believe in yourself. Each of you is very talented and gifted in your own way. If you believe in yourself, work hard, do not give up, I guarantee that each of you will succeed in life. You will start building your dream, having a home, a good family, or a good community. You will have no problem with making money. The question is not about how to make a lot of money. The question is about how to use your gift to make possibilities happen for other people, especially for people who are less fortunate and powerless. When you are in the leadership position, what are you going to do with your power, and how are you going to use it? I congratulate you on your academic performance and wish you all the best. I hope that you become a leader. You make your daring dream come true, especially become one that makes the impossible possible for others. You can do it with your hard-working spirit, impeccable vision, and your loving heart.